Is it me? Is it you? Who knows?
Guess who? Can you guess who? It's a mystery. Does your person wear a hat? Can you guess who? Does your person have a beard? Uh-huh. Can you guess who? Do you have a clue? Does your person wear glasses? Yes.
Alright guys, welcome to the channel. We got a good one today. A big development in the Diddy case. Now I'm going to go ahead and assume everyone's pretty much caught up on what's going on with Diddy. Allegedly he's in jail, being held up for charges like sex trafficking, drugs, weapons, a laundry list of things, too many freak out parties, something like that, too much baby oil at the house, you know, that kind of stuff. But before we jump into that story, I just want to point out, okay, look at the background here. This was Puff Daddy's first album that came out around 1997, 98. Ironically enough, it's called No Way Out. And I think that's funny because if you know what we know about Diddy right now, he was basically the Epstein of the rap game, allegedly, right? And what he would do is he would kind of entrap these elite class people by having these freak out parties. And these people would end up getting drugged, allegedly, and have sexual acts, allegedly, and then they wake up the next day, and it's basically like, oh, we filmed all that, and that girl wasn't 20, she was 15. So that means you have no way out, right? The title of Diddy's album, No Way Out. And now look at the symbolism they're giving us. Look at this group of people. What do they look like? They look like a mafia family, right? And Diddy looks like the mob boss. And what we're hearing from these insiders is this was the exact time period where Diddy was made, is how they're describing it. He was made into this mafioso type guy. He had all the power, all the control. And if you remember back then, you remember it kind of did happen overnight, right? He was like Biggie's small sidekick. He was a nobody pretty much. And then Biggie died, Tupac died, and all of a sudden Puff Daddy was the biggest thing around. He was the guy to go to, and it just never made any sense. So now we're going to jump into this news story, okay? We have a attorney named Ariele Mitchell Kid, and she's got a bombshell, guys. So check out what she has to say right here.
There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really?
This was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Wow. So what she's saying is there's a recording out there of an extremely prominent person engaged in some kind of activity that they're not supposed to be doing, and it's basically being held for ransom right now. Somebody's offering to give it up for a lot of money, but who could this person on the recording be, right? As you saw in my intro, I showed 3 different people who are in high positions. She said that this person was bigger than Diddy. So I think my 3 people in the intro are bigger than Diddy, but I didn't show them only for that reason. The reason why I picked those people specifically is because they each represent a different group, right? We have a music artist, an athlete, and a politician. So I believe that this person is going to be in one of those categories. So now we're going to hear from a girl called Jaguar Wright. She's been in the business for 30 years. Some people say she's crazy, conspiracy theorist, liar, and some people say she obviously knows what she's talking about. I cannot confirm or deny any claim she makes, but she was on Piers Morgan today, and I want to show you what she said. It's pretty interesting. Check this out.
So you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because That's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
All right, so she just dropped the big name, Sean Carter. Now, who's Sean Carter? Well, he's our boy here, Jay-Z, also known as Hova, the Hove, and I'm sure a bunch of different names because these people love changing their names. But anyway, Jaguar Wright is claiming that Jay-Z here is even worse than Diddy himself, and she's not done yet. Check it out.
The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying.
All right, so those are some big allegations, and if they're true, that is crazy. But like I said, I cannot confirm nor deny anything this girl is saying. But what I do know is, she's talking about ritualistic stuff, and a lot of people do claim that Jay-Z may allegedly be part of the Illuminati. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I do know his wife, Beyonce, here in this picture, she's doing this symbol, and a lot of people claim that that symbol is allegedly an Illuminati symbol. And it's pretty ironic that almost every single famous person in music and Hollywood has at least one picture of them doing this symbol, usually like this. So that's kind of crazy. And what Jaguar is about to tell us next is even crazier. So check this out.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
All right, so a quick side note. She just said Aaliyah there. Now, if you're not familiar with Aaliyah, she was a singer-songwriter in the late 90s, early 2000s. She was really starting to blow up at the time. And then suddenly she had died, unfortunately, in a plane crash that they said, the plane malfunctioned, huge accident. But what Jaguar Wright just said made it sound like Aaliyah might be a victim, and maybe her plane didn't just happen to fall from the sky accidentally. Now, that's going to be a story we'll have to dig into another time. Maybe we'll find out something more with this Diddy case. Maybe something about Aaliyah will come out. But for now, let's get back to this story with the mysterious tape and who may or may not be on it. Now, the next person I suspect could or could not be on this tape is none other than LeBron James himself, okay? Now, I'm sure you know who LeBron James is, right? Huge sports ball player. He's on the Lakers. He's really good at basketball. I'll give him that. But he's also known for, running his mouth a lot whenever there's, a BLM riot or, if some criminal gets themselves shot by a cop. As long as the cop's a white guy, that's very important to him. If the cop's a white guy, then LeBron gets all over the internet and talks about how it's because of, slavery and racisms and all this stuff. But more recently, LeBron has been all over the internet talking about how much he just loves these Diddy parties, right? Quote, "Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, LeBron James. Can we get that on this guy's headstone whenever that day unfortunately comes? We don't want that to happen, of course. But like, I feel like that quote is just really fitting for him, right? Because he's all over like Snapchat, Instagram, talking about Diddy party this, Diddy party that, videos of him at the Diddy parties, and he just cannot wait to get back to Diddy's house. He's like, oh, I don't know what it is, guys, but I just love these Diddy parties. I don't know what it is, guys. I just love these Diddy parties, right? And from what we're hearing, allegedly, it may be that Diddy has all the alcohol bottles emptied before the party starts, and then they refill them with what I'm hearing is called liquid cocaine, allegedly. I've never heard of that before, but I did hear in terms of this that that's what people supposedly, allegedly were pouring into the alcohol bottles. And maybe there's a reason why LeBron just cannot wait to get back to the Diddy party. But anyway, so now a lot of people are talking about LeBron. Where's he at? He seems to have disappeared now that this Diddy stuff's going on. And Candace Owens had something good to say about that. So check this out.
Because I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. People should be putting pressure on LeBron James. I am still so not okay with the fact that this man who elected himself the president of all things Black lives, anytime a Black criminal died, he was out there telling people to protest on the streets like a government plant. I'm just not okay with his silence. I genuinely am not okay with his silence on the issue of Diddy, who he claims was his boy, who he claimed had the best parties ever. And he's still silent. And I'm not here for it. I'm just not here for trying to convince me that this guy who alleges that he is the king had nothing to say when we watched a video of Cassie Ventura getting beat by his friend Diddy. Could you imagine like purporting yourself to be a person that cares so much about Black lives, branding yourself in that manner, and then you have an opportunity to speak out on something that is so obviously morally wrong and horrific, and you choose silence? Here's my thing. If he's going to choose this silence, he better keep at it. I don't want to hear another political quotation or expression from LeBron James, from his X feed in the streets. If he says anything, seriously, I'm just going to lose my mind, because the reality is he's a complete and utter fraud. He's an absolute fraud, hanging around with people who live their lives like that while trying to preach to the rest of us about the struggles facing Black Americans, but won't address the ones that were happening at the very parties that he was attending. It's an absolute nonsense.
Yeah, so I agree with Candace. LeBron should put out a statement explaining himself, or at the very least distancing himself from Diddy, or just do what Laura Ingraham said.
Shut up and dribble.
All right, now that brings us to our last suspect, and that is none other than the great Barack Hussein Obama. And I know this is probably going to get me in trouble with some people, maybe with the DOJ. I hope not. Let's remember, this is all allegedly, maybe in some dream I had type stuff. But in real life, Jason Whitlock here says Obama brought Diddy to the White House. Now, why would Diddy be invited to the White House? Why would Obama want to be hanging around Diddy? Now, to be fair, Diddy has been known to hang around Washington, D.C., okay? Obama's not the only one, right? Remember, Diddy, he was a big campaign advocate for Hillary Clinton. The Vote or Die campaign, you remember that one?
Apparently you haven't heard of my Vote or Die campaign.
Vote or die? What the hell does that even mean?
What do you think it means, bitch?
All right, so the reason why I'm thinking that the person on this mysterious recording could be a big name like Obama or even Hillary is because of something that attorney Ariele Mitchell Kid said today on Piers Morgan. She gave a little bit more information, pretty important. Check this out.
And just to be clear, two thoughts about this. One, is it a household name that we're talking about here? And secondly, are they engaged in any criminality from what you understand?
Household name, very much so. More of a household name than Mr. Combs.
Wow,
And
really?
criminality, they are engaged in pornography. They're not doing anything illegal per se.
All right, now what she just said there is huge. She's saying that the person on this recording is an even bigger household name than Diddy himself. Now, what exactly is a household name? Well, to me, a household name is somebody that's so famous and so known across the globe that every single person in your family, in your household, they know who this person is, right? You say the name, they can picture the face. It doesn't matter if they're into rap music. It doesn't matter if they're into sports. Doesn't matter if they're into politics. You say that name and everyone knows who it is because that person is so famous. Now, to be fair, Diddy has been around a lot of very famous people for the past 25 years, right? But something that attorney said, which was really telling to me, was she says this person isn't involved in a criminal act on the recording. It's more just a sexual thing. Now, who's really going to be that worried about the sex tape of them getting out, okay? Is a rapper really going to care? I mean, a rapper can survive a criminal act, right? We've seen that countless times, okay? An athlete, someone in sports. I mean, even them, it may be embarrassing for like a sexual tape thing, but you know, I feel like that's not that big of a deal. They could survive it. Who doesn't want a sexual tape of them getting released? Would be like someone involved in politics, right? I mean, a political person, because a political person with a sex tape out, it could ruin their career. Unlike some people, when the sex tape comes out and you're famous, it just makes you even more famous, right? We've seen that. And that's why I'm thinking this person is most likely like a politician, or maybe just someone with such big name recognition that they don't even want the sex tape getting out. This guy's a victim right here, this kid, and we're gonna not include him in this talk. But any of these other people are definitely suspect, okay? We're not making any claims here. We're just, it's all allegedly, it's all a thought experiment, right? But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who do you think it could be on this recording? Now, I'll be honest, we most likely won't ever see this recording. Maybe we will. It's 2024. Things are different. But like she said, they call it this, a catch and, you know, dump, I'll call it, right? The terms of this type of thing is somebody has this recording and they're offering to sell it to someone, and they'll sign a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, saying like, you have to destroy this recording. Now, you know, there's probably countless recordings, and whoever has it is probably just going to keep getting money out of it. But that's the way these catch and dump things are. Okay, that's the terms of the deal. We sell it to you, you destroy it so it never gets out, and that's what keeps the anonymity of the person in the recording. But we're going to end it there today, guys. Look, I really appreciate you being here, spending your time with me, okay? I think this story's pretty big, pretty important, pretty interesting. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Who do you think this person could be in this video, right? There's a lot of names to choose from. Who do you think it is? Now, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, please. It really helps the channel, and I need that help. But either way, I appreciate you. And tune in tomorrow for another video on America's Reality 360, where we bring you the reality of America. And I'll catch you there. All right, guys. Later.
Now get your big ass in the polling booth.